But welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the greatest club in the. We have an invocation from Stephen today.
All right. Dear Lord, we're thankful for the bountiful harvest from the Scattered Valley you have provided for us. We ask you to watch over our Rotary members and their extended family as they travel over the upcoming holidays. We ask you bless this food to nourish our bodies and our club to support Rotary's goal to create hope in the world. In your name, amen.
Amen.
And I think I put songs out because I didn't know what to sing. We're going to do number 7, You're a Grand Old Flag.
Hold on, let's do this.
Somebody else had one.
Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance first.
Oh, Cassie. I always do this every time. So if that's a surprise to somebody, that shouldn't be.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the 4-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Okay, now we can have a
now
song.
Now I'm up. All right. Number 7, You're a Grand Old Flag. You're 1, 2, 3. You're a grand old flag.
Okay, thank you. Good job, Stephen. Do we have any visiting Rotarians today? How about guests of Rotarians? It's a full Rotary crowd today. This is great. Well, club business first. Thank you, Stephen and Team November and Cheryl for being flexible for today because I couldn't read a calendar and didn't realize that, the 30th was the last day of the month and we had a Christmas party the next night. So I appreciate everyone's flexibility. So that said, the Christmas party is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. and it is here. I want to watch the Pac-12 championship. And so I'm going to pull my presidential power and we're going to be streaming it on this screen during the Christmas party. So we're going to enjoy cocktail hour, heavy appetizers from LeConner Seafood and Prime Rib. Thank you to Becky and Ellen and the rest of the Christmas party committee for putting the party together. They are going to have a quick meeting after the meeting today. So please, if you're on that committee, stick around. Yes, and then don't forget to bring donations for the Helping Hands Food Bank. And monetary donations always go a little bit further, and we're always a very generous club. So keep that in mind when you come. And if you want, you can bring a whole bunch of plastic bags while you're at it, and we can give those to the Helping Hands Food Bank too, because they're in need of those as well. And additionally, we have a service project opportunity with the Helping Hands Food Bank. Becky Scrindy has arranged for our members to be able to go in on Saturday, December 16th from 9 to 11 a.m. to volunteer at the food bank. This is something that we're going to set up and do monthly. So if you're in need of a makeup, it's going to be a Rotary service project. So please join me this coming the 16th. So in 2.5 weeks to volunteer at the food bank. And then we'll do it monthly after that. Let's see what else. Last call for nominations. If anyone would like to further nominate, other than that, I'm handing it. It's been handed off to Mark in the nominations committee, but we are in need of one last director position. If not, then we will just hold our elections at the end of December at the last meeting. Let's see, do we have any other announcements that anyone would like to make? Did I forget anything? No one else asked me to make an announcement? Okay, good. All right, then, do we have a raffle?
First one's number 3. Number 3. Magnolia Grill, $25. Second number is 74. That one. All right, she's going to take some beer. Told we're doing 4 today. And 32. Here we go. Josh is going to risk it. And past presidents pay $2.
Oh, good thing I'm the president.
And if I can count, this is number 4, right? 37. Here we go. Oh, they finally hit. You're going to get hit a couple times a day. Not a cougar or husky, pay $2. Not a cougar or husky.
Yeah.
Not a cougar or husky. Oh, since Ruth asked, you can pick up. All right. All right, so we'll continue on. I got Ruth help me pick up. And can I get one more? Somebody to pick up, Lynn, since you've got money in your hand? Oh, there we go. So, oh, Becky's got it. All right. I wrote some things down and we'll continue on this rivalry week, Cougars, Huskies. So, you know, last week was rivalry week. Some would say it's the last rivalry week we're going to have. So the first thing I have is only for Cougs and Huskies. If you identify as a Cougar or Husky, for the Cougs, it's going to be $1. I will pay on mine. You got David in there. I know that. You're going to pay. For the Huskies, be nice. It'll be $1. Again, so only for those who identify as Cougs or Huskies, if you didn't attend one of those schools, that's going to be $1. If your children attended, that'll be $1 per child. If they attended or attending. Yes. That sounds about right there. And then if your child was a part of the Cougar or Husky marching band, that'll be $1. Oh, yeah. I was gonna pick on Jeff, but I knew he was gone. So Okay, so now we're going to anybody who claims a school, a collegiate school. If your school is not going to be in the same conference next year as it is right now, that's going to be $1. Yes. And if you wagered money this year, or you contributed to NIL or a collective, that's going to cost you $5 because I think you're ruining college football. There we go. All right, so we'll get off of college stuff. Once again, Rotary Christmas party tomorrow. Thanks to Becky. If you are not attending, it's going to cost you $1. And I don't know what the dollar amount should be, but if you told Becky you are going and your plans have changed, that's going to cost you whatever you think you should pay the club. Maybe that changes if we're streaming the game. Finally, with the holidays, if you're going to be traveling out of state, it's going to cost you $1. And if you're traveling out of the country, it's going to cost you $1. Around the holidays. Around the holidays. I don't know when the holidays end. So is that enough? Does anybody have any happy bucks?
I Venmoed the happiest bucks on earth because I'm going to Disney World, flying out tomorrow at midnight. So that's going to be exciting, positive vibes.
Make her way around. Cheryl's got happy bucks.
Hello, I have 3 grandsons that are, well, one just turned 9 on Sunday, 10 and 12. All 3 of them wrestle for Still Claw Sedro Woolley. And their tournament before Thanksgiving, all 3 are first place gold medal winners.
I have a happy $20. I'm traveling this afternoon to the Philippines. I get to go see, we have 4 team members over there, and so I'm going to go see many of them for the first time. They've been with us now for about 4 years, and this is the first time any of us are getting to meet them, so I'm looking forward to it.
Make her way around here.
I've got a couple of happy bucks. First off, I've sent photographic evidence to Brock Stiles that I'm wearing his husky tie with Tim Lair. So yeah, for Brock. He's not here, right here. Oh, thanks so much. So I have some other happy bucks too. Blake Gurney was home for the Thanksgiving holiday. It was great to see him. And while he was home, he accepted a position to become the National Director of Chapter Operations for Sigma Phi Epsilon Fraternity. We're so excited. He's going to be in Virginia for a little bit longer, but he's got some great things he's doing, and we're just so very proud of him. And also his brother, Brian, 11 years ago today, I was with him at the Burlington Morning Rotary Club when he became the Boy of the Month, and it was really a special time. Barb and Bill couldn't be there, so it was really, really a special day. So remembering Brian, and Nutcracker Weekend tomorrow, school show at 9:30, then opening night tomorrow. It's a great, great, great weekend. I just love Nutcracker Weekend. So that's it.
Here's $9. My grandson turns 9 Saturday. We're gonna have the party. He is the Mario Kart family champion, if you know what that is.
What is it?
I got a happy 20 as of Monday. I am now legally, my first name is Chris. None of you, I doubt, ever knew me as Kirsten, but I've been Chris for 30 years, and I got permission from my mother for my birthday this year to legally change it. So I'm Chris, officially.
I have $7 left after that little escapade, Stephen. And I'm just super excited that as of Monday, David Brooke is going to have normal length hair again. But Nutcracker Weekend is always exciting. My daughter doesn't dance anymore, but I can't wait to see it Saturday night.
Nope, we got one more.
I got a happy 5 for that article in the paper about the Cedar Woolley High School students doing their volunteer work. I think that's pretty important for this community.
Was that 7? This is all I have left after all the money you took from me, so you might as well have it too.
They're still giving money away, so I didn't do that well. I think that's all we had for Happy Bucks.
All right, well, we had a lot of happy people today. That's great. I also forgot, when I was doing club announcements, we got a letter from the Hamilton Cemetery Association. I don't actually remember how much we donated to them, but they wanted to thank us for the donation because they were able to get their records building built at the Hamilton Cemetery. So they wanted to thank us for that. So. Oh, I'm sorry, Don.
Sorry, I'm struggling here to get my buttons pressed in time. I just wanted to say that I am also happy. I have another happy 20 for you all. I am disappointed that once again I am in Seattle instead of there in Sedro. It seems like I've been more of a virtual member for the last couple of months, but I didn't really know my job was going to take me away quite as much as it is. But tomorrow, I'm really happy and have another 20 that I'm going to be able to see you all in person at the holiday party. And I want you to know my credit union doesn't Venmo, but I've been saving all of my fines and all of my happy bucks, and I can give them to Steve in person tomorrow. So in cash. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Oh, Frank?
I have another happy 20. I just want to thank everybody for their continued support. With the elections being certified on Tuesday night, our levy officially passed. So we're moving forward with our 8 new firefighters, and all the thanks to the community and everybody in this room for the support. Appreciate it.
All right. Okie dokie. Well then. Are you sure no one else is happy out there? Okay. So we are going to move into the program. Ruth and I just wanted to take the opportunity today to talk about some of the community projects that we have and our funding situation or our funding statuses. So I don't know that if very many of you realize, I'm guessing we do, because as Louis says, we're a can-do club. And over the past few years, it feels like we've been writing more checks than we've actually been doing actual projects. That we're a service club, so we should be doing service projects. That's at least my personal feeling. But I just wanted to take some time today to go over 2 of the bigger projects that we have sort of competing for our attention right now. So we have the bathrooms at Patrick's Playground, and then also the pickleball courts. And then if everyone sees on their table, there is a project prioritization list that, thank you, Ruth, she put together. So you can either go through it while we're talking about it and just write down your opinions on there, or you can scan the QR code that's there with your phone and it will take you directly to the survey. Or you can check your email because we sent that out as well. But so again, we have the Janicki bathroom project, which is sitting at an estimated cost right now of $450,000. I'm just going to briefly go through it, and I'm going to let Mike talk more in depth about what the project entails. And then the pickleball court project is sitting at $234,000 to complete that project. And then another smaller project that we were I know Carl was also talking with Nathan at the city about this, doing a couple of picnic shelters out here at the new water park. So that's set for $10,000 to $15,000 for the two picnic shelters. And then, of course, our other projects are always the scholarships, the youth committee, we do dictionaries and literacy projects, and then we always give a portion of our auction proceeds to the international committee so that we can continue to do our work not only here, but globally. And Carl and Teak have been excellent stewards of those funds and utilizing them and getting grants and really capitalizing on our impact globally. What else? And then the summer concert series, but Chris does such an amazing job on that those costs just offset. So. Yep. Yep. It's still a project though that we do. So I wanted to first, I don't know who wants to speak first, if Mike or Josh wanted to come up to talk about their projects. They'll be able to give you guys better details if you have questions.
So first of all, I want to thank the Rotary Club for all the stuff you guys do. And I think it's really hard when we're trying to spend this kind of money to not put up walls and try to be in one team or another team. The reason that this Rotary Club has worked so well over all the years is because we keep all that other stuff out of the way and we just think about what's best for the community, and that's what we do, and it works really well. This project is a stretch. You know, I still got to go out and get $150,000 from people that are already giving money to people. We've basically postponed this a year to help the school district get from $100,000 to $200,000 because they have money coming in, but they're like everyone else. There's 10 needs for every dollar. If we fund this thing, I think it's going to be a beautiful facility out there. It kind of finishes that 17 acres. The pickleball courts would access these bathrooms too. So it's kind of it kind of fixes everything out there. But the main thing is that we're all going to have to keep fundraising to keep finishing these projects. And so I think that's the story I want to say is that we don't get to give up. We need to figure out how to do these projects and figure out how to fundraise them. And I think we got to be a little creative. But the main thing is I want everyone to still be happy and have drinks tomorrow night, here. And so it doesn't matter because this group of people is way more important than any of these projects to me. So I just wanted to say that. And of course, I talk longer than I should. So thanks.
Okay, thanks, Mike. And Ruth, did you print these? I'm glad I brought my glass. Sheena. Good thing I brought my readers. Okay. When I look up, you guys are all blurry though. Okay, so the pickleball courts project, who here does not know what pickleball is? Does anybody not know what pickleball is? It's pretty popular these days. There's a lot of people that play. Some people in this room play. I try to play, but my hip doesn't allow it these days. So I might have to call it quits. But my wife plays almost every day, and she's got a group of friends that play. And geez, there's a whole club that's formed over in Mount Vernon that's turned into the Skagit Valley Pickleball Club. There's a beautiful facility over at Skagit Valley College that has, I believe, is it 10 courts? I think it's 10 or 12. And then Hillcrest Park has a facility that was once tennis courts, and that was converted into pickleball courts. And every time that I go to those two places, they're always full, people playing pickleball. When we traveled to Arizona, my daughter had these softball tournaments in various locations in Arizona. Almost every single softball complex had a set of pickleball courts there at the facility, and they were always full. Palm Springs, we played pickleball almost every day when we went to Palm Springs. Obviously, those are warmer weather places. And I guess my point is, in this place, my point is it's become quite popular with all ages, really, from the teens, not so much the little ones, but from the teens all the way up through 75, 80-year-old, great grandparents. So, who, by the way, can be pretty good players. So there's a lot of momentum and a lot of steam behind this sport. And I believe it's the official sport of Washington State now. Is that right? It originated in Washington State. So if you're surfing sports channels like I do every day, you might see some matches on ESPN. So it's become quite popular. So a project like this, when it first was kind of being discussed back during Rich's presidency, could have, we all thought, I was on his board, we all thought it could have a major impact to the community. And, not to mention, the like Mike said, that the aesthetic portion of this, it would bring to wherever this is going to be constructed. So anyway, that's kind of my pitch on kind of the popularity of the sport and the impact that this project could have on the community, especially with Rotary's name attached to it. So another thing I want to mention too, if with both these projects, there's an opportunity for outside funding from the club, right? That's a big deal, I think. And we don't get that very often with our projects. So with the school district and with this project, we have a donor by the name of Claude Blackburn, who I believe he was the founder of Dry Ease. So, and he loves pickleball, and he wants to spend money on pickleball facilities. And he's already committed to this project at least 25% of the total cost. So he is, and he's still on our side too. I reached out to him recently on the the kind of the challenges we're facing with the club funding, and he's still on board. And that was just as of a few weeks ago. So the write-up here on this piece of paper that I can barely read has the figures, the dollar figures based off of this going over at Janicki Fields. There's been a recent development though, and this came up at a board meeting, and we've looked at it in the past too, that this facility could be potentially at a city park, and Olmsted Park in particular, which is going to be off of Fruitdale Road near Northern State. It's where the fish pond is. So I reached out to Nathan after our last board meeting at the city, and there's a real possibility we could get this project over there at that park. There's already a plan for sport courts. It would already be paved. He's already secured funding for kind of the first phase of that. And there's an opportunity to go after grant funding for this project that would help. So that's something else to consider. It kind of changes what this write-up has here with the dollar figures, and I don't know what they would be yet, but I think it would be more doable for the club. It would be less money for the club if we ended up with that facility out there at Olmsted Park. So, but I don't know that for sure yet. So I don't want to, get anyone's hopes up. So, but so as it stands right now, it's going to be about a $250,000 project if it's at Janicki Fields. And that would include the paving, the fencing, the surfacing, and then the court equipment. And it would include lights. The lights are $75,000. We could forego lights and save some money there. So Question, Travis? Yeah, what opportunities, yeah, for our club for participating in the construction of the project or, yeah, so I was just going to get to that. So every pickleball facility needs to have a fence. So the big opportunity I see is installing fencing. That would save about half the cost on the fencing. It's about $48,000 for the fencing. So there's an opportunity there. Landscaping work, all of the kind of the post-finish work is an opportunity. The site is already essentially prepped for paving. The paving company would be able to come out and essentially start, doing the fine grade and paving immediately. If you're not aware, it's on the gravel parking lot near Patrick's Playground on the other side of that service road. So it's the lot that kind of feeds the baseball fields. So it's a great location. It would save us a ton of money if we were to go there, and that's kind of the reason why we picked that location. So yeah, installing fencing, landscaping, cleanup, that type of work. We probably don't want Rotarians attempting the court surfacing. That's got to be, professional. We could probably install the netting and and put up the posts and netting. So, but yeah, it's a fairly straightforward project when it comes to kind of the major aspects of it. So, any other questions? Does that kind of explain what we're up against with this project and kind of where the dollars are coming from? And David,
when will you know about the Olmsted? Oh.
Hi.
The Olmsted Park location?
That's a good question. I saw an email just a couple of days ago to Mark Freiberger from Nathan. So they're discussing it. So I know maybe Mayor Johnson has a comment on that, but I would like to think it would be before the end of the year. So anyone else? Okay, Stephen.
I've been involved a little bit with Josh on this. Part of the project was extending the parking lot at Janicki Fields. Is that part of the 234?
No, in fact, it sounds like the school district would still go forward with that.
Okay, so separate.
With that parking lot improvement. So,
because
yeah,
my understanding from the school is that parking lot needs to be expanded anyway.
Yeah, that's separate from that cost. So,
okay.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously this is a high dollar project. It's got to be a multi-year project, and we started kind of conversations during Rich's presidency and then Phil. So, it's nothing really any different than Tesrick Field or the playground project as far as the funding level and the duration of the projects. And then the last thing I'll mention too is, why would I want to vote for this as a Rotarian? I don't play pickleball, or I don't really know anybody that does, but, not everybody in here has a connection to Little League baseball, right? Or, maybe not everybody utilizes Patrick's Playground. And so it's just, it's like Mike said, it's the impact to the community that we have to consider here. So not really a personal impact. Okay. Anything else? I was hoping to be done.
Pretty quick on your feet. Several years ago, Rotary invested some money in that property up there on Fruitdale Road. We put in a whole bunch of gravel, some large rock spalls, and then some gravel, so that the mothers wouldn't get stuck in the mud when they fished up there. So Rotary's got a little bit of investment in that park already. And I think it has helped because I've heard that the drainage feature that we put in did help get some of the water off of that open field area. And I think it's pertinent.
Yeah, I've seen the design. Nathan showed me the design, and it looks like it's pretty mature. In fact, adding these pickleball courts might mean a little bit of redesign, But maybe we can make it work so that that wouldn't be the case. Maybe we eliminate one court or something like that. So, but it's going to be a really nice park. It really is. So, okay. Thank you.
So the next one is the picnic shelter out here, and it's coming together. There's actually a couple other things we'd like to do. Ellen, you still would like your doors, right? Yeah. So we have the grant is written for 15, or the request, and that would cover the play shelters. But I also would like to see us, and we have to be careful what we choose for plantings, but I think we need some plantings right on the backside of this concrete so that when people are having weddings, it separates them from the park. Because as soon as we put some separation there, well, I don't know, maybe we're already getting weddings here, but if we aren't, we should be. Because that back patio is perfect for that. And when we put the patio in, we conceived of having a tent that would cover it. And that's all ready to go. There's conduit out there for power. And so this is really a combination of 3 projects. One, to continue landscaping here, build the picnic shelters, and we can actually, Christine confirmed today that we can help actually construct those with the city. And my suspicion is that we could either do it with them, we could do it by ourselves, or they could do it all, which is a great project because they're not so big that we can't handle it. We could build a shelter pretty much in a day, and that's a great work party Rotary project for us to do. And it's the least expensive of all these projects. So it's one that I think we should manage one way or another. And then Ellen needs doors on her building over there so that the seniors can access the park. And that's really writing a check to a contractor. And we probably don't have enough money. We need to double the budget to probably put those in. But that's something that we should be considering too. And to tag on to Josh and Mike's comments, I think we should fund all these projects. But if it takes us 2 or 3 years, so what? But we should start thinking, I hope that when we vote on this, we can agree to fund them all. They're all worthwhile projects, and they just happen to have more money than we have available immediately, but that's no problem in the long run. So thank you. Any questions before I? Okay.
Yeah, so the reason you might be asking yourself, we've already heard about these projects multiple times. We've been talking about it for several months now at the board meetings. I mean, we were talking about the bathroom when I was on Mike's board several years ago as well. So you might be asking yourself, why does this keep lingering? Obviously, we do not have enough money to do both projects. They're both big projects in a single year. So that's when you talk about it to a certain extent at the board, and we feel like we need to come back to you as the club and say, how do you want us to prioritize these projects? We all want to do them. What's first? What's second? What's third? How do we get these done? I'm totally happy to do the projects over my presidency as well. My preference would be to do the bathroom first, because I feel like that's the more pressing need, because I'm the one that answers all the Facebook questions on both the school district page and the Rotary page. And I cannot tell you the number of complaints I get every summer about there not being a bathroom out there. And we've done a stopgap measure since it was created with the porta potties, but all of us in this room who have had toddlers, you remember how terrified they are of porta potties? Not great. So then you get the kids who are having accidents on the playground. It's kind of gross, right? I mean, I think Louis went out there and found some awesome poop on one of the walkways at one point. It's kind of gross, right? So that would be my preference, is to if we're going to prioritize, like, I want to do one thing first and then the other thing next, right? But we need to come to a consensus, because we've been going around and around and around as a board, because we all like the projects. So that brings us to the survey. So you have on the table a survey of what's your first priority. We just want to hear from all of you, and that includes anyone who's not here. You should have it in your email. It was pre-scheduled to send out at 12:45, so it should have hit your inbox, so you can take it online. That would really help if you could do that, because number one, you can probably see it better. But number two, we can actually pull that data into a spreadsheet format. It automatically populates a spreadsheet. So it's going to be really easy for the board to say, okay, it seems like the majority of the club has this as a priority first. But that's going to be Christine's year. This is going to be my year, and it's probably going to be Lynn's year as well. So we just need, as a club, to realize that we can do all these, but it might even go into the year after Lynn as well, which is fine if that's where we want to go. Travis, hold on, I'll bring the mic.
So just a clarifying question, with big projects like this and big budgets, often they are multi-year commitments, which are, to me, sounds like maybe phases. But we're kind of talking about these like it's all in or all out, and they're all going to happen, together. But are there phases I don't want to complicate it, but are there phases we could agree to? And are these each going to be on the same kind of timeline?
So for the park here, the whole thing could be phased. We could do one picnic shelter a year, then we could do the doors. We could do the doors first, and then the picnic shelters. So I would say for the park project, give us some money, we'll do some good.
So the project is already phased. We didn't do anything this fall because we wanted to have this meeting and we just didn't get to it in time. But I would say that the goal is to get it, 75 to 80% done next summer, which would be this year's money, next year's money, and then somehow I gotta find another 150,000 to finish it. My goal is to try not to have Rotary do that. Try to write some grants and stuff, but realistically, this is a 3-year project, so whoever's after Ruth will.
Lynn.
Lynn, you're going to still be in the what. So there's where we're at.
Josh, can you do your phases too?
What? Yeah. As far as phases for the pickleball courts, I mean, this project, the paving company will essentially be done in one day, maybe 2. Okay, and then the surfacing people, maybe they take a few days, and then if we were to hire a fencing contractor, probably a couple of days. So, I'm not sure how this project would work to be done in phases. If we had to do it, we would. I mean, we could have an asphalt patch out there. I'd be afraid without fencing though, it could get damaged somehow but yeah, I think that's what we were hoping for last June, but come to find out that people that do this surfacing work are booked out almost a year in advance. So we would have to actually plan now to get anything done as far as court surfacing for next year. So that's just kind of how it is.
Chris.
Yeah, I just had a question for Mike about the phasing, with the bathrooms and stuff at the Jenny Key. I think I remember you showing us pictures of the plans with the kind of a pavilion and a ticket booth and concessions and bathrooms. And, is that going to be done? Can we do bathrooms and then do the concession stand? I mean, how's that? Or is it all The whole idea is to do the whole plan over a summer, I guess.
So, I mean, these are just raw numbers, but it's like $50,000 for all the concrete work. It's $70,000 for the whole building, basically. Then it's 50,000 for the electrical. It's 110,000 for all the stainless steel in it. So that's what I'm saying. You phase it. We get to shell up. We get it to a point where it's all protected from the environment. And then if we have to wait 6 months to write that check for $110,000 for all the bathrooms, they go in afterwards anyhow. So that's what I'm talking about is that we're phasing the money, not the project. So you have to you got to get it all covered, and you got to put the concrete down. You got to put the sewer lines in. All that stuff's, in that first 150,000 or something. Then it's the last one is all the stainless steel stuff for the bathrooms. That's the most expensive part of this whole thing is the actual toilet seats and stuff because of the vandalism issues.
Is having the dollar commitment from the club an important part of getting any future funding and applications for grants and stuff? Like if once we actually could come to a dollar amount and commit to it, then we could actually go out and pile for more money.
Yes, I think that's really important for any grants that I've ever seen with the city or the school district.
Question, Josh. Will the pickleball courts include a covering, or is it just the courts?
No, we would need a lot more money for a cover. I think it adds $1 million plus to cover something that large. And so no cover planned at this point. We talked about though, planning to cover it at a later time, when we lay out the pad for it. So Carl, yes. We all need individual microphones.
Can you put a pickleball court underneath the amphitheater down there?
Probably not. I mean, we could put a single court probably anywhere, and we could probably do that right now, right?
That might be a good hold you over thing.
Yeah, and we talked about a couple of courts, over behind the right field fence at Tesrick Field, so I mean, it's all about what we choose to do, and like I said, the impact to the community. So,
question just on the simple math for the proposed projects. How much are we short? The proposal there was an additional 50 for the bathrooms and 110 for the pickleball court and 15. So what we've already committed, we have. So you're looking at the 200,000 over the next 2 years. And I don't really know what we normally bring in for projects.
As far as the pickleball courts project, I said it was going to be about $250,000 and that's with some overruns. I think the number is 234 in this printout, but let's just say it's $250,000. So we can eliminate $100,000 of that cost if we forego the lights and we just buy the materials for the fencing, and we use Rotarian labor, and maybe even the school district can help out with that. And again, it lessens the amount of donor money that we get because it's based on a percentage. But I think when you do the math, we're only short about 65K in that case.
So that'd be 110 between the two projects.
No, so it would be 110 for pickleball for Rotary's commitment and 100,000 for the bathrooms, and then 15,000 for the Memorial Court. So around 225,000 altogether is what we're looking at. So we did transfer $200,000 into a CD. So we have $200,000 sitting in a 13-month
12 month.
11-month, 9-month?
What is it, Steve? 6 months.
6-month CD. Thank you, Steve. So we have that money. So the big part is, do we have, Steve, this is a question for you, oh mighty treasurer. So we have the $200,000 sitting there. Has any of that money already been earmarked for anything?
Shaking his head, yes.
Well, some of that money's still for the, like the youth and the antique due, and so until we get it all back in February, I don't know what we're gonna have exactly. But right now, I think we got about 95,000 in the bank, and then the 200,000 will come back. So that's the number we have right now.
And then we'll have whatever we earn from the auction in May 10th.
Yes.
So, that's just another big push. I mean, I know as we're working on the Rotary auction now, it's really hard to say what we're going to use the large amount of money for, because we just don't know. And it would be really nice to be able to have a plan as we're going out to sponsors and out to people asking, hey, buy a ticket. This is what we're doing. It would be great to have an actual plan of action that we can actually talk to with not only the sponsors, but at the auction, because it's great to talk in hypotheticals. We'd really like to do these 3 projects, but we've talked about it for a while now. And I don't want people who are attending the auction to be like, well, you talked about it last year and we haven't seen any action on it. So I just want us to have a plan, because it makes it a lot easier if we do.
Just be careful when you look at the 200,000, 295, whatever we got. If you start spending that without looking what we've allocated, we've done that before and it got us in trouble. Okay, so we were spending money that we didn't have, that we had to use from the next auction, and that's a very precarious position to be in. So really, it sounds like what we might need is a subcommittee that studies the overall budget, robs Peter to pay Paul, to really prioritize what it is we need as a club. Some of that can go on.
Can I just make one comment? I think we're all on the same page here, you guys. What we need is to approve all these projects, and then this committee will tell us what our earmarks are and how much money that we are going to need to raise extra for Ruth to get us there, so that John and these guys can go out and twist people's arms and say, look, you guys have always given us a lot of money, but we got major projects that are going to make Sedro Woolley on the map, and have these guys go out and get the extra money we need. We have to trust ourselves that we can not spend money we don't have, but tell the community we're going to get these projects built, and this is how much extra it's going to cost. That's my opinion.
I know that all of you have heard me say this when you come into the membership committee for your orientation, but there's a phrase that I coined some years ago, that we are a can-do club. And what I would like to know from the sponsors of these projects, first of all, how much of these projects can all of us and the rest of our members be able to handle? Because we have a lot of talent in this club. It's been demonstrated over the past years, and it's put us on the map. And the other question I have is that can-do situation waning because of some sort of liability issues or other issues? I hope not, because I think this club can contribute a lot to these projects and try to keep the cost down.
just real quick, I know we're running out of time, but I want to thank Mike and Josh for being the sponsors or so-called sponsors of these two projects. They're great projects to have. Rich just walked out. He's got to go to court, I think. But it started with Rich with the pickleball courts. We didn't know these excavation costs are going to go that big. We didn't even with the bathrooms, and they just did. But they're worthwhile projects. They're legacy projects. We'll have Rotary's name on them. It's worth it. And I want to thank Ruth and Christine, for bringing this forward. This has been a great process to sit around here with the membership here on Zoom, just to talk about where we are and what we have, because that's how we have to collaborate and talk with each other about it to support these projects. So I agree with Carl. I think they're all three doable. I think we should do it. It's probably going to take a couple of years to get it done, but we're close. We're close to getting them done. So thanks, you guys.
Okay, just because we are out of time essentially, I'm just going to close the meeting now. Thank you guys for coming. I hope to see all of you here tomorrow to watch the Huskies beat the Ducks and have a Christmas party. So without further ado, thank you.